0818 715 815.
Hello, good afternoon, and you're very welcome to Liveline. 51551 is a text. Barry, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
It's a noble campaign. It's an honourable campaign. It's about time someone stood up. But can I break something to you gently, Barry?
Go on.
Before you tell the nation what your campaign is. It's too late, Barry. It's over.
Right.
Your campaign is lost. Your campaign is lost. It's gone.
If it's a good enough campaign, it's a good enough campaign.
Well, tell us what is your campaign, and you tell us what your campaign is, and I'll tell you why I think it's over.
Okay, because I have a fierce objection to people saying St. Paddy's Day, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing in the calendar, St. Paddy's Day. You know, it's St. Patrick's Day. There was no such person as St. Paddy. It's just St. Patrick's Day, and that is the name of the saint. And he's our national saint, and he's our Irish saint, and we celebrate him with gusto the world over, and rightly so. But you even take an Irish mother, and she never christens her young lad St. Paddy, St. Packy, St. Pat, St. Paddy. He's christened Patrick. And no matter how many people around him call him other names, nicknames or things like that, he'll always be Patrick to her and her son. And, you know, the celebration of St. Patrick's Day, it's a phenomenon that we Irish celebrate the world over. And, you know,
do you object?
I remember
Barry, just to clarify, do you object to a lot of organisations leave out? No, they leave out the saint altogether. They call it Patrick's Day. Do you object to the saint moniker being left out?
No, I do not. Well, I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. Well, I prefer it. Let's put it this way: I prefer the saint. You know, a derivation or a nomination to be used. I certainly object to the Paddy'S.
Okay. Are you ready? Have you Are you sitting down, Barry?
I am.
Okay. Have you time to get a cup of green tea just to steady the nerves?
I will.
Okay, because I'm going to read out. Just in the last few minutes, I Googled Country Living, which is a very estimable magazine in the UK. It does hunting and Laura Ashley and highfalutin country houses. This is their headline on the 25th of February. Brace yourself, Barry. It says celebrate St. Paddy's Day with a homemade Irish meal. Are you ready for more? Come from the UK, from the home counties. Come to the home counties of Ireland, the closest we have to the home counties. Greystones in County Wicklow. Yeah. What does the Greystones guide say? Greystones.
If he says Paddy, I'll get him excommunicated.
It says Greystones Paddy's Day. And not only that, but they have stickers with Greystones Paddy's Day. Okay, Love in Dublin, which is a widely circulated magazine here in the capital. You get it free in a lot of restaurants. 10, brace yourself, Mary. 10 Paddy's Day events to check out in Dublin over the bank holiday weekend.
That is disgraceful.
Well, there's more. Hang on, there's more to come, Barry. That's why I think it's over, Barry. The campaign is over. Galway Bio, which is a very popular website in Galway. And you think Galway of all parts of the country.
Yeah, of course.
What's their headline? Paddy's Day in Galway. What time is the parade on in my local town? Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, it's not Paddy's Day, Joe.
Well,
stop.
UC.
An abomination.
Do you want to go academic with me now? Toe to toe. Let's go. Let's go toe to toe on academia. UCD website.
Yeah.
And it's a subsection called Nova UCD. St. Paddy's Day celebrations in UCD. St. Paddy's Day. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be left out. Not going to be left out. Trinity College.
Yeah.
Set up in 1492, was it, by the Queen Elizabeth? The Holy and Undivided Trinity College of Dublin. Yeah. The headline this week in the Trinity News, recently in the Trinity News, which is the foremost magazine in Trinity. It says, in photos, tens of thousands lined the streets of Dublin for... Go on, say it, Barry.
I can't. I'm not.
Say
I will
it.
not be forced.
Say
I will
it.
not be forced into
Go on.
submission. It is an abomination. It's too big.
Trinity
it's too
News.
Big. So,
Tens of thousands
against the tide?
You are.
Am I swimming against the tide of convention, Joe?
Am
I wasting my time, Joe?
You were hoping to swim up the Liffey. I think you're being dragged to the Isle of Man at this stage. Trinity News. Tens of thousands lined the streets of Dublin for Paddy's Day.
Absolutely shameful. Shameful, because there's no such thing as Paddy's Day. It was St. Patrick to commemorate our national state. You know that, and I know that. And you've learned that he was born in 432, wasn't he? Well before the Academia of Trinity College came on the scene.
That's true, yeah.
And his name was St. Patrick.
Oh, Mother of God. Barry. Oh, Mother of merciful intervention. Look where I'm after finding.
What, Joe?
State College Police. The police are preparing for the state's Paddy's Day. This Patty. Barry.
Oh, dear.
It's gone.
I'm crying, Joe. I'm crying. You know, that's worse, Joe. That's worse, Joe. That when I went to England first, I worked with Aer Lingus for 20 years.
Yeah.
And that is worse. You get introduced to some English guy, they knew no different other than this. You know, your man is, and the first thing they say out of their mouth is, well, Paddy, how are you? Yeah. You know, be Gara and be Jays, let's have another pint of Guinness. That was their summation of what I was of being Irish was at that time, Joe. You know, we were very proud of our heritage. I mean, the phenomenon of St. Patrick's Day is celebrated the world over. I have a friend of mine, Des Kennedy, and we marched in the parade in New York in '61. And like that parade took 5 hours to pass the viewing stand, and we marched in the Aer Lingus uniforms and stuff like that. If you were able to walk in Aer Lingus, you'd be fired over to New York to march. And then when we were halfway through the parade, we broke off the parade, and then the Laois county, they had their James Fintan Lawler banner, and they asked us to carry the banner for them as well, and we did that as well. But it was to some phenomenon. A friend of mine rang me not too long ago. Joe, do you know where he was at a parade? One of the great parades, he said, in Macau.
Oh, Macau,
Joe, yeah, a Macau, a St. Patrick's Day parade in Macau. The biggest, one of the best parades in Europe is in Lanzarote every year. And I know an awful lot of people that timed their trip to the sun in the Canaries to Lanzarote around to coincide with the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Well, you know where I was once Grand Marshal of this. It never happened for me in Ireland. But you know where I was once Grand Marshal and led the St. Patrick's Day parade.
In what, Joe?
Wait, let me finish. In the St. Patrick's Day parade in Moscow.
Thank you very much.
In Moscow. I'm
delighted to hear that.
Back in the night, I was in the Gaborne show around 1994, and we carried the banner.
Yeah.
We carried the banner proudly.
You were proud, Joe, to do it.
Yeah. And it was a Gaborne radio show. We had our own banner, and it was St. Patrick's Day. But we called it St. Patrick's Day. We wouldn't let anyone away with it. We wouldn't. And where Barry, are you going to take this campaign to higher quarters?
I don't know, Joe. I'd be Joe, like your own station there now.
Yeah.
Isn't exactly top of the class when it comes to...
tell us.
Joe, I'm telling you, I've heard too many presenters there referring to it as St. Paddy's Day. There's no such thing as St. Paddy's. There's a St. Patrick. Anything else is nondescript. Shouldn't be bothered with. And I don't think anybody that said to me when I was an immigrant, they said, "Well, hiya, Paddy," I ignored them completely. I never answered to the name Paddy.
Okay, where's Florrie? Florrie is on WhatsApp. Joe at RT.ie 51551 text 0818 715 815. It's not talk to Joe today, it's talk to Joseph. I want my full name. Florrie, you're listening to Barry. You're listening to Barry.
I am, and I'm 100% behind being called Saint Patrick
Okay.
or Patrick.
Good on you, Florrie. You're a woman after my own heart.
Oh, well, it's my husband. He's dead. He died a couple of years ago. But he
Okay.
used to have hysterics. No, well, not quite, but he used to get
Okay.
very angry when people said Paddy's Day. He said, there's no such thing as Paddy's Day. It's
No.
Saint Patrick.
Correct.
And was it, insofar as you know, Florrie, your late husband, what, like Barry said, why it grates with him is he's sick. He goes back to an earlier time. Well, maybe it's happened still, where paddy, the word paddy was almost a pejorative term, especially in the UK.
That was abroad. That was in England and places in America. Paddy was. You were looked down, and you were a paddy.
Yeah, 'twas pejorative. You're absolutely lovely word, Joe.
And where did pejorative
Joseph.
paddy?
Joseph.
Where did Patty, Patty? Because I just read out a headline from an American paper, Paddy's Day.
I never heard of that. That's the first
Well,
I've
that's
heard
out there
of it.
as well. I see it slipping.
I knew a couple of ladies that might have been called Patty, but it's nothing to do with St. Patrick.
By all
The female
the country
version.
was male.
And Barry, I know you're sitting down having your cup of tea, but you think you're on firm ground here, Barry?
I think I am because I
Okay,
never.
well, hold your
I ne-
horses, hold your
I
horses.
Never divert
Well,
from what
hold
I'm
your horses and get your wellies out.
Okay.
Because the next caller is saying you're not on firm ground. Tom Fanning, good
yeah.
afternoon, Tom.
How are you doing, Joe?
You want to pick Barry up on something. Feel free.
Yeah, I'd like to know what is his first name again?
Oh,
Who? My first name?
yes.
Yeah,
Barry.
Barry.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Now, Joe Duffy is Joseph Duffy.
That's right, John
Yeah.
That
Jones.
he was christened as and called. But his name was cut down to Joe Duffy. My name is Thomas,
Yeah.
and it was cut down to Tommy,
Okay.
Tom,
Okay.
Tomo,
Okay.
Yes.
Hooker.
Tossy, whatever you call it. Yeah.
And no matter what name you have,
Well, hang on,
it's going
Tom.
to be cut down.
Tom, when you get to the killer blow, the killer
Well,
blow is
what?
Barry.
Patrick.
No, the killer blow is Barry. What were you christened, Barry? What's on your birth
I was
cert,
christened-
Barry?
I was christened Francis Finbar Anthony.
Tom, a home run
Anthony,
there.
yeah, so-
Game, setting match to Tom Fanning.
No. I want to know, Joe. What did your mother call you?
John Joseph Duffy. She got it wrong in the.
Did she say Joseph?
John Joseph.
Oh, oh God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Tom,
Yeah.
what did your mother call you, Tom?
Thomas, but I was christened Thomas, but she never called me by that.
The game set a match
I
to
won't
Barry.
say. When I was meeting from school, now I won't say what she called me.
But it is. Listen,
Joe,
I'm
Jo-
sure
I think
St.
the only
Stay,
Patrick
stay there,
is
Barry.
in
Okay, more
school.
people come. Paul Walsh.
Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph, I think the only winner here is Joseph Duffy.
I doubt it. Paul Walsh.
How are you doing?
Your contribution, please. What do you think
Yeah,
of what do you think of Barry's argument? Do you think it's too late? The campaign is over. It's lost. Gone. Finito.
It's
Creeknaha.
completely wrong
Okay,
because
good luck.
it's never St. Patrick. Because for a start, he's not a saint. Because be a saint, you have to do 2 miracles, and he never performed a miracle. His name wasn't Patrick; it was
he's a
Zuccott.
saint by tradition. He's a saint by
No.
tradition.
No, and his name is not Patrick.
Yes.
His name was Zuccott.
Oh, good luck.
And
Zuccott.
the reason he was
Oh,
called
okay.
Zuccott, he was Welsh. And the reason he was
Yeah, I know
called
that.
Patrick
Right.
Yes.
is because he was a patriot, which is a person who promotes religion.
So we should be
Yeah.
saying.
So,
What should we be saying? Paul?
Saint Patriot.
well, we shouldn't actually promote him because he
Oh, good luck.
came to Ireland to get rid of all the snakes,
Yeah.
which
I
were the
know,
Druids
that's
of
only
Ireland.
That's
How's
only
that going
that's
for you?
only a story.
But Paul, what are you saying is his
That's the
proper
fact.
name? Okay, Paul, what is his proper name?
Zuccott.
So it's Zuccott's Day.
Well, if you want to promote a man who killed all the Druids in Ireland.
So we should say the Zuccott's Day. Are you going in to see the Zuccott's Day parade?
How is
There you
it?
go, your choice.
Are you Paul? Paul. If
Yes.
St. Patrick killed all the Druids in Ireland, are there any Druids left?
Yes.
There is, yeah. The Roman Empire killed all the Druids all the way across Europe.
Yes.
And the last ones were in the island of Anglesey, which is Holyhead.
Yes, not too far away, yeah.
And the Romans wouldn't come to Ireland because it was too cold.
Yeah, too dear, apparently.
And that's yeah, probably. And they came across the.
Are you a Druid, Paul?
I am indeed, yeah.
You see, well, speak freely. You're in your grannies. And what does that mean, Paul?
Not a whole lot. It's just don't follow the Christian way.
Okay. And have you a Druidic name? Have you a sorry? Where's I keep missing you there, Florrie, because you're on.
It's okay.
What did you want to ask, Paul, Florrie?
Paul is called after a Christian saint.
That's true. That's true. Paul, have you a Druidic name? A Druidic name.
Facetious,
I know. Have you a Druidic name, Paul? His line's gone there for a minute. We'll come back to it. Gillian.
Hi, Joe.
Where do you stand with Barry's campaign? Sorry,
Well,
Finbar's campaign. Finbar's campaign.
Finbar's campaign. Okay, let's call everyone their full names.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't really think about it until I heard him there. And then I was kind of asking myself the question, what do I call it? And I always say St. Patrick's Day. And I suppose that's just the way it kind of always stuck in my head. But then I was wondering, because you were calling out all the different places that are promoting St. Patrick's weekend activities and so forth. So I checked out our own Tralee Chamber Alliance website page here in Tralee to see if we were giving the good man his full title. And sure enough, he's been given his full title, St. Patrick, on the Tralee Chamber Alliance website, and that's how the weekend is being promoted. There's no Paddy in sight at all. But I suppose, I don't think it's meant as an insult as such. I think it probably came, I was just saying there to a researcher, that it probably kind of infiltrated down from people that were abroad, particularly in America, St. Patrick's Day, they have the Paddy'S weekend and Paddy and, the Irishness of it. And I think Paddy kind of resonated more with the Irishness of St. Patrick than St. Patrick did with the event itself. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose the whole thing has changed really. It used to be just a kind of a one day, you get dressed up, you put on the half a ton of shamrock on your jacket, you went down, watched the parade, came home, went about your business. But it's a whole weekend festival now, and it's totally changed from what it would have been, I suppose, back in the day. Okay. But I do think, though, that, calling it I suppose its authentic name, as in St. Patrick, I think it's nice. And, while I'm not really big into religion or anything like that, we have St. Bridget's Day now. Are we going to be calling that Biddy's weekend? Or, call it what it is. And it's St. Patrick's weekend or St. Patrick's Day. And that's it, really.
Yeah.
I just say you put two things into my head, Gillian. One is, what's Donald Trump? How's Donald Trump going to get his jaws? No, around Meehall Mark.
Kerry Shamrock. It's Kerry Shamrock as well. It's actually down from Ballinskelligs. He's getting Kerry.
Oh, is he? Okay, you know that, do you? Okay, yeah.
Yes, yeah. The Shamrock is grown with love and tender care and a fine gust of winds down in Ballinskelligs, which is, I'm in Tralee, so it's a good bit down. And it'll be transported.
Love to Trump.
What did you say, Gillian?
I'm giving with love to Trump.
You're giving your love to Trump.
The Shamrock is being given with love.
I said the Shamrock is grown with love down in Ballinskelligs. And a lot of people in Kerry will buy the Ballinskelligs Shamrock, and it's transported around the world. It's very famous Shamrock.
Okay. Now
I'm just saying that's the Shamrock that that Trump, or let's call everyone their full titles today, President Trump will be getting. So a Cork man will be going over to the White House with Kerry Shamrock. So, yeah.
Okay, now can I just finish on a point that
Sure.
The point that Finbar was making earlier about what is your name, and you like your mother always called you by your full name. I have a habit which I developed many years ago of referring to people by their full name. In other words, I call Gaby times Gabriel and Kenny Patrick or whatever, and the only person that used to pick me up on it all the time, and I used to deliberately say it to him, was the late great Pat Inglesby. The people know the great Pat.
This week, yeah.
Pat, I worked with Pat way back in 1975 in Arcs Advertising, and he had an office upstairs in the building where we all the little fellas like myself. I didn't smoke, but everyone went up for a smoke with Pat. Pat was a creative genius, and if you said, and then I used to see him around Clontarf, and he'd say, "How are you, Patrick? Don't call me Patrick. My name is Pat," he'd say. And the other thing as well is that hasn't been remarked upon, unfortunately, on Irish national radio. I know it was on the news on Saturday with Evelyn and Karen on the TV news. But Pat Inglesby made an enormous contribution, not just to TV and Pat the Hat, but to Irish radio. He did the most incredible, I hope we can find one or two of them, the funniest vox pops you've ever heard for the Gayborn radio show, because he used to stand outside the Bank of Ireland on the corner there in College Green with his distinctive hat, and he'd stand there and with his microphone, and he'd say to people questions like, who is in charge of the time? Okay? And he'd get the most funniest, in other words, who sets the clocks or whatever. His other great question was to people, innocent passers-by, the first fella that milked the cow, what do you think he was doing? So will we remember Pat?
We could go down a fierce rabbit hole with that question.
Yeah, well, will you join with me, please, on Irish National Radio, remembering the late great Pat Inglesby. Pat.
Yes, he was wonderful.
He died on the 1st of March in Clontarf nursing home. And then his R.I.P. notice is typical of Pat and his family in terms of its love. Son of the late Paddy and Eileen, beloved Paddy, do you hear that, Barry? Beloved companion of Vivian and friend of Willow, Rinka, Runda Hoot, Blackie Goodjoe, August Marvin. I think they're donkeys. Deeply regretted and sadly missed by his family, Michael Inglesby, who I know a great circus archivist, the best circus archivist in the country. Anne and Des, Deo and Patsy, Bridgie and Will. I know Bridgie was there, and as all the family were. His nieces and nephews, Aisling, Fiona, Dave, Melissa, Pat, Michael, Jackie, Paul, David and Rory. I want to mention them all. And there will be a celebration for people who want to know. A lot of people do. There will be a celebration of Pa, P-A, Pa's life. That's Pat Inglesby. In the Victorian Chapel in Mount Jerome in Dublin on Thursday afternoon, this Thursday at 2:30. And donations, I want to get this in because if I didn't, when I met Pat Inglesby the next time he would give out to me, donations would be greatly appreciated to the Donkey Sanctuary, which was very close to Pa's heart. God rest Pat Inglesby.
Talk to Joe on 0818 715 815.
Roland, good afternoon. Back to where we began.
Hi, Joe. How are you? Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day, yeah.
Oh, you have a very good point. Go ahead, make it there. I can see it, but you break it to the nation, Roland, because it's a very good point.
Well, because of my background being Welsh, St. David's Day was on the 1st of March.
Okay.
And it's never called anything else like St. Dave's Day, St. Gabriel's Day. You know?
It's never called St. Davies. It's never called Davies Day. Wow, isn't that interesting?
No.
Whereas
I
read out from the start stuff from various different publications: Country Life, Paddy's Day; Trinity News, Paddy's Day; Greystone's Guide, Paddy's Day; Love in Dublin, Paddy's Day; Galway Bio, Paddy's Day.
It's a tourist thing, Joe. You know.
Okay, well, it's got into the. But that's a very interesting point. In Wales, your national day is St. David's Day, and you've never heard it referred to as Davy's Day, St. Davy's Day, or St. Dave's Day.
That would be a laugh, wouldn't it? It's hilarious. You know?
Okay, good. I mean, I'm all good. That's Roland in Artane in Dublin. Back tomorrow at 1:45. Niall McMonaghan on sound. Research Richie Byrne. Producer Rachel Graham. And Ray Darcy is next.
Liveline on RTE Radio 1. Sponsored by Harry Curry. Cozy up with the new arrivals. In-store or online at harrycurry.com.
Talk to Joe on 0818 715 815 or send your WhatsApp voice notes to 087 484 8888.